That's a hard one because I like them all. I mean, I like to teach history of Christianity, the courses that I teach, especially history of Christianity from the Reformation to the present, because for me it helps students have some context for a lot of the other things that they hear. But I like teaching the three courses in the theology sequence: 571, 671, 672, because there's just so much in there that gets me excited. And when I teach students and they start to put the pieces together, it's amazing. It's wonderful. So those, I like them all. I don't know if I can choose a favorite. It's like, what's my favorite child? I don't know if I can say. There's a couple. I'm going to tell just two. There's one course, when I taught Theology 571 in the summer, a number of years ago, and I've taught it in the summer as a module for a number of years, I had a linguistics student take the course. And a lot of times linguistic students will come having taken a lot of the technical courses, semiotics and a lot of the language-oriented stuff, and now suddenly they're studying scripture theologically. And this student was a good thing in context. She said, "I will never read the Bible the same way again," and it just, I guess, for her, opened her eyes to a whole new range of things that are true about Scripture and how God speaks through Scripture. That was really gratifying to be there for that aha moment. Another time, same course actually, several years later, I was teaching the class, and I always tell students that the goal is not to be like me. You don't have to become like Brian Cooper. You don't have to believe everything that Brian Cooper believes. That's not the purpose of this. I want you to understand what the big questions are, and I want you to understand why it is that you believe the things that you believe. And I had a student who, interesting, like me, had come from a Baptist background, but where I have moved into the MB world, he was pursuing ordination in the Reformed Church of America. And so his theology of baptism and kind of church identity was very different. And we were having a fascinating exchange in class, probing and going back and forth. And it was kind of funny because I think the rest of the class was just sort of sitting there watching this like a tennis match going back and forth. But at the end of the interchange, it was respectful, it was mutually enriching, and we both came away affirming one another's faith, affirming one another's theology, and understanding how and why they got there. And the thing that really made me realize that this was a positive exchange was that probably a year or two later, he invited me to participate in his ordination service. So I got to pray at the ordination service of a Reformed Church of America minister, which I thought, whoa, is this for real? But it was, amazing pleasure and an honor. It was great. Well, there's the obvious. You want to prepare for ministry, you want to understand and have some more breadth in pursuing ministry, various forms of ministry that people are engaged in. But I think two things for me. One is that a lot of people come into theology class afraid because they think, oh, theology, this is intimidating. I'm going to have to memorize a lot of stuff. And first of all, I think the biggest blessing is that I hope people come away realizing that impression that they have of the way theology works isn't really the way it works at all. Actually, theology is about asking good questions more than memorizing a lot of details, and it informs our discipleship in a different way. And the second thing is, I really want people to integrate all aspects of their understanding of the world and God in it and their part. And there are people who have these ideas about theology that they hold over here, and then the things that the church does is over here, and how they're actually connected to one another is kind of a mystery, and quite often it can break down. They sort of have, and when people actually learn to bring these things together, everything holds together better, everything is stronger, and ministry is more effective. Well, interestingly, in the same vein, my denomination, like a lot of others, is working through issues of identity. What is it that holds us together? What is it that we share in common that unites us as more than just a bunch of people happen to operate under the same name? but as a body, a community. And a couple of people did a sociological study looking at sort of pastors and churches' engagement with our Mennonite Brethren Confession of Faith. And that's actually been a passion of mine, is engagement in theology, an engagement in theology that helps us understand not only how to read the Bible together, but how to understand how the Confession of Faith works. So I'm in the midst of drafting a paper and sort of in response to this as part of this larger project to try to help bring cohesion to our identity around our confession and our theological commitments. I have a motorcycle. I ride a motorcycle. I don't know if people have heard me coming and going because my motorcycle's loud. I don't know if ever people have made the connection that that's me riding it when I come and go from campus. I have a collection of Nerf guns and other paraphernalia in my office. One of the things actually was that I used to be a family ministries pastor for a number of years before I came to the seminary, and every year we had a big vacation Bible school, and I've got artifacts from past years there, and every year I would dress up as some weird character. I would actually I would spend a couple of months creating a character. I would work on an accent, like even a bit of a backstory, and then sort of do this. And so that was my thing, and I haven't done it in a long time. It's a treasured memory I have of my past ministry.